I went to Uki's room to hide before the police officer got here and found Yuto curled up asleep on her bed. He must have been crying for a long time because he was red around the eyes, and I could see tear marks on his cheeks. Uki was sitting on the bed, softly holding his hand. She'd probably been like that for a long time. It seemed a very natural thing for her to do. You're the new big sister. You gotta inherit that role, I guess. I think I said that before, though. Her voice was soft and kind, so as to not wake Yuto. But there was a loneliness mixed in with her words. I could see that she was looking at a photo on the desk. It was a picture of Yui and Uki, and I couldn't tell when it was taken. Yui was hugging Uki from behind, and pressing her cheek up against Uki's blushing face. I thought about the person who'd taken this picture. If it wasn't one they'd taken themselves, someone had to have taken it. It wasn't Yuto. If Yuto was there, he'd be standing in between the two of them. And Dad wasn't into taking photographs, which meant it was probably Nono. I could tell what Uki was thinking when she looked at it. She was thinking about when Nono had taken the picture.
出発は夜になるって。準備できてる？はい、一応は。でもよくわからなくて。
Neither did I. It wasn't that I didn't know what to take. I didn't know what was happening to me. I haven't even been told where we were going, except that we were leaving Shibuya.
とりあえず一旦離れるだけだから心配しなくていいと思うよ。はい。
Where did Uki get that giant fluff thing, by the way? Fluff ball doll. I assume this is like the... Well, I remember this was like a storage area before, right? They cleaned it out and gave her a new room, you know, and everything. Anyway, Uki smiled just a little at Amura's attempt to make her feel better.
お前は大丈夫なのか？
大丈夫っすよ。前から旅に出てみたかったんで。
She was joking around, probably because Uki was here. It felt like old times and I smiled a little. Of course she wasn't okay. She was leaving the town where she lived with no notice at all. And she was leaving because someone wanted to kill her.
なんて言うんですかね、こういうの。バンドワゴン？ん？バンドでワゴン？
Bonding a wagon? No, and that second one doesn't even make any sense. Oh, she's still here. Why is Kazuki still here, eating squid? Oh, yes. I suddenly realized that Kazuki was in the corner of the room, chewing dried squid. I hadn't seen that in a while either. It was kind of a relief.
ハナ、ユウトが起きちゃうから。はあ、着替え足りるかな。買わなきゃダメか。
Arumura tugged at her outfit as she spoke.
有村さん、よかったらですけど。よかったら、ののさんの使ってください。ののさんの部屋にありますから。
Oh, yeah, CG. Arumura froze. She clearly didn't know what to say.
いや、でもそれは。
That's kind of weird.
いいんです。ね、タクルさん。
I was a little surprised. For a moment, she looked like Nono or Yui. She probably decided that she'd protect Yuto, and so she was trying to be a big sister like they were. I nodded to both of them.
なあ、ノノはどんなものでも無駄にするのが大嫌いだったから、もらってやってくれないか。
けど、先輩は。
Just take the clothes of my, dead sister. Don't worry about it.
いいんだ。
Arumura seemed a little surprised, but her face finally took on a serious expression.
わかりました。もらっていきます。はい。
Aramura ran over to Nono's room to get the clothes before the policeman came. I decided I should probably check if there were any clothes left in my room, then I stood up.
Shibuyaを離れる
I tried to leave the room quietly so as not to wake up Yuto, and then I stopped.
地震の時、お前は何を望んだ？その結果、尾上がリアルブートされたのだとしたら、あいつに何を求めたんだ？
I remembered what Kunosata had just said. I looked around as if trying to find the answer to a problem I couldn't solve. Then I saw I saw Uki holding Yuto's hands as he softly moaned in pain.
いや
I don't have to know, do I? I don't have to think about the things I don't know. This is the right thing to do. If I endured that headache long enough, I could probably find the answer. But I gave up and left Uki's room to go get ready instead. Well, November 6, 2015, Friday. A little after 4 p.m. Well, back outside, I guess. 7 hours had passed since the beginning of the festivities, and even as the sun began to set, they showed no signs of slowing down. Lines had started forming in front of every food stand and restaurant around lunchtime, and they were all still packed. There were over 30 concerts, from huge 1,000-seat venues of major artists to tiny little bars of only a dozen or so seats. Each of them was standing room only. Guerrilla performance artists would approach the crowds, hoping to attract customers, and in turn attract crowds of their own. Over 80,000 people were still in attendance at the festival, which had gone far beyond the organizers' wildest expectations. There were the usual issues associated with big events, like minor fights and lost children, but there have been no major problems so far. The police from the Shibuya station helped keep things safe, but the biggest factor was the volunteer staff. The organizers have been recruiting volunteers up to the last minute to handle the crowds, keeping everyone safe and in the mood to spend money. Many of the volunteers were victims of the original disaster, and the experience they gained in the earthquake had taught them how to get along and work with other people. Amazing. On-the-job skills. When a major band had made a surprise appearance at the stage in front of the 107, there was a mild panic, but the volunteers formed a human wall to keep people in the crowd safe.
今日は復興を祝う祭りなんです。死亡事故とか起こすわけにはいきませんから。
That's what the leader of the volunteers had said to an interviewer who had happened to be at the scene. He was an honest and sincere man. He was speaking from the heart, and he didn't mean anything more than what he said. But his words brought to mind a certain name and a certain face, both among the people who saw him on TV and among those who heard him directly. The word that made him think of that name was, of course, death.
何？あの人たち。
あれだろ？朝からさ、ニュースでバンバンやってんじゃん。
Everyone there was hoping for the festival to succeed, but at the same time, they hadn't caused a big problem yet, but there was one big concern in everyone's minds. When a girl and her boyfriend left Shibuya Station, heading for the stage at the cultural hall, they saw a group of people wearing eerie masks. There were over a dozen of them, and then another group came from another direction. Suddenly, there were several dozen. Identical masks, identical T-shirts, just like the line, of the sumo wrestlers, I guess, at the grocery store. There was that one scene where a bunch of them came. The faces of two fat men overlapping. It was the sumo stickers. Yes. They said nothing, but anyone who got close, whether by accident or because they wanted to get a picture, would flinch away as they heard the eerie sound created as the sumos breathed beneath their masks. The man at the head of the group looked around and approached a nearby streetlight. I guess. Very similar to Kazuki, actually. They just don't speak. And then he took something out of his pockets and stuck it on the light. It was a sumo sticker. The owner of a nearby crepe stall saw this and frowned, but was too scared by the appearance to say anything. He quickly went back to dealing with his customer. It was something he'd seen again and again since the festival started. The only ones who saw it were people like him, who stood in one place the whole day as they ran their businesses. The majority of the attendees, caught up in the flowing crowd, saw nothing. But if you were to take all the stickers placed on the ground, on the decorations, on the street walls, and on the walls, or on the street walls, what did I say? I said street walls? No, on the street lights and on the walls, you would have enough to cover the huge TVs at the Shibuya Scramble Crossing. The stickers were slowly taking over, spreading even to places where no one could see them. They were like physical manifestations of all negative emotions that lurk within the attendees. It was about 3 hours later, around 7:30 p.m., when they finally exploded and everyone died from the bombs. No, it happened at the place that had been set up for the silent prayer that would end the festival. Right in front of the memorial. What's going on?
マジで？あれ？
今すぐ死ねよ死ね人殺しが
宮代です。宮代拓が慰霊碑前に姿を現しました。
Oh? A little after 9 p.m., Serika arrived at the Hikari-wo. Okay, so that was like at around 7, right? 7:30 or something? I don't know how Takaru ended up there, or even if it is the real Takaru, but I don't know. But this is after 9, though. Way after that whole commotion. Most of the attendees had gone elsewhere, and it wasn't as busy as it had been earlier in the day. She looked around and listened to the thoughts of the passerbys. Or passers-by, rather.
うっぜ宮代うぜあいつ本当にどっかで死ぬのかよ逃げ出したんじゃねえの
早くしてよね死ぬにしても死なないにしてもこのままじゃ帰れないじゃんどっちでもいいからさ長尺が
Okay, wrong-siders. Serika whispered as she listened to the worthless thoughts around her. The couple, a few feet away, glanced over at her, but quickly turned away. Serika closed her eyes so she could concentrate only on the thoughts around her. As of 9 p.m., all the concerts and street performances, as well as a few of the stalls, were closing up. The festival was nearing its end. After this, the attendees would gather at the specified time for a moment of silent prayer, and then the festival would be over. The crowd seemed to be heading toward the station and the memorial. There were too many people still here for them to all fit in the memorial plaza, so the big VIPs, as well as the families of the victims of the quake, would gather at the memorial itself while everyone else would watch the proceedings on the TVs in front of the station.
佐久間は多分宮代を殺した後慰霊碑前に遺体を晒すつもりだな
Both the TVs in front of the station and the memorial park were near the Hikari-wo, but the park was just a little closer. And anything that happened in the park will be replayed for people watching on TV. In other words, more people would see it.
おそらくさっきの男もそのための道具
Several hours ago, she heard that Miyashiro had appeared in front of the memorial, but she quickly learned that report was mistaken. Okay, so it's just a fake person, not real. It was a man pretending to be Miyashiro, who worshipped him like a, it was a man pretending to be Miyashiro who worshipped him as a messiah, but the man himself had looked nothing like Miyashiro. Yet for some reason, the media had decided to report it as Miyashiro Takaru himself appearing at the memorial. As a result, security around the park and the plaza had been strengthened. And as a result of that, another rumor was spreading, this time that Miyashiro would be appearing there. It was almost certainly part of Sakuma's plot. And we're seeing like everything, well, sometimes, like a few times already, we're seeing it from Serika's perspective. So I'm wondering, like, you know, there was that theory that Kurensato had, that apparently Serika was being mind controlled or something, but I don't know, unless she's being mind controlled right now, I'm not sure. But otherwise, it seems like, you know, she's just acting as if she was herself, you know, at least the Serika we learn, you know, at the very end, near the end, of like being like a near emotionless doll, you know, sort of character, I guess. Well, Serika opened her eyes and rubbed her stomach as if to check on her injury. It had been almost 24 hours since Sakuma had sliced open her stomach. She still wasn't in top shape. She had lost a lot of blood. The dull pain in her head that resulted from resisting Sakuma's powers would come back the second she let her guard down. And it's interesting she has to, apparently she's been mentioning that, you know, she's been resisting Sakuma's powers. Is that like a thing you could do, you know? It wasn't really explored, but I guess she can do that. This has been the result of her attacking him in top form last night. She survived working with the committee this long, so she couldn't shake her logical and very realistic doubts. Could she really kill Sakuma?
Miyashiro Takuru. Miyashiro Takuru.
A thought suddenly came into her mind and she frowned suspiciously. That was strange. She hadn't been trying to read anyone's mind. It was from somewhere in her field of vision.
出てこい、楽しませてくれ。
死ね、死ね、死ね。かっこよく死ね。
In a really cool way, do a backflip off the building or something. Negative thoughts flowed into her mind one after another. They were strong and vast in number. It was as if someone had combined all the final thoughts of all the people she'd killed. It's the sumo people. And it says, well, this is Ka. This is Rixie, you know, Rixie? Kind of like Rikishi, I guess. How you say sumo sticker in Japanese, maybe? I don't know. Well, she forced herself to look in the direction of her thoughts and saw the group wearing the sumo sticker masks. She tried to squeeze them out of her mind, but they slipped past her and echoed in her head once more.
Miyashiro Takuru. Miyashiro Takuru.
Shouldn't you not be staring at the sumo stickers, by the way, Serika? Doesn't it affect you since you're also like a gigolomaniac or whatever?
出てこい、楽しませてくれ。
死ね、死ね、死ね。かっこよく死ね。
Only strong thoughts and desires could create this effect. It was as if all these feelings had formed into one single strong emotion, a desire for Miyashiro Takuru to appear. For the first time in a very, very long time, Serika was terrified. She could feel herself break out into a cold sweat. Her logical and realistic doubts vanished. It didn't matter if she was capable of killing him or not. She had to kill him. Miyashiro had to survive, and for that Sakuma had to die, and soon. She looked at her phone and saw that it was past 9:30 p.m. Everyone inside the theater had probably been let out. Shibuya, the Hikari-ho building, the 11th floor. The entrance to the theater cube. I assume that says cube, or, you know, Q-U-B. I don't know how to pronounce that, cube, you know. This room was also the entrance to the office floor, and it was always crowded with people. But now there was no one here save a lone employee and a single security guard. The festival event in the theater had finished up at 9 p.m., and there were no other plans to use it. The whole floor was lit up, giving its classy design an elegant atmosphere. It didn't at all match what was about to happen inside the theater. because by the time this was over, one of them would be dead on the floor. Serika stood in front of the convenience store on the floor and waited for the time to come. There was no sign of Sakuma, but then, a little after 10 p.m., she realized something was wrong. The employee and the security guard at the front desk suddenly started to leave. They dropped what they were carrying and began to stagger out, as if they weren't thinking about anything. Her eyes went wide and she immediately tried to read their minds. Oh, she felt a sharp pain in her head when she did. Oops. They really weren't thinking about anything. There wasn't even the meaningless subconscious noise that all humans produced. Nobody was ever like this. Nobody normal, that is. The two of them walked to the escalator as if they were in a daze, then disappeared. All that was left was empty silence. Another violent pain struck her. This didn't make any sense. They already vanished. There's no reason why she should be hearing their thoughts. Where was this heavy strain coming from? She felt something very strange in her mind and body. You know, maybe it wasn't a good idea to go exactly where the person, who's trying to murder all of you, did not go exactly where he wanted you to go, but... And then she saw her left hand slowly begin to move without her controlling it. Oh. I don't know what's gonna happen to her. I can only assume she's being mind controlled now and everything. Whoops. Shinjo was out of breath. He'd run back to Alpha Dorm to take the place of the other officer, who I hadn't seen because I was in Uki's room. I could tell he'd been literally running around all day.
よし、今から数時間ここにいるのは俺だけだ。外にいたマスコミ連中にも偽の情報をつかませておいた。今なら誰もいない。車でここを出られる。
宮代や有村はともかく、後で交代した時、山添や立花優斗がいなくなっていることをどう説明するつもりだ?
That was a good question. There's no way to hide that, and it would be his fault if they went missing.
フェリックスならお前や百瀬さんと話している間に鍛えられたよ。心配ない。
別にあんたの心配をしてるわけじゃない。あんたにはこの後もいろいろ動いてもらうことになるんだ。降格ならまだしも失職されては私が困るんだよ。
ほら、これだから鍛えられるんだ。
Very tsundere right now. Shinjo sighed. Then Uki came in with Yuto at her side and a worried look on her face. She slowly raised her hand. The other hand was clutching Yuto's tight. Yuto's eyes were still red and he wasn't looking good. Uki seemed to be trying to hold him up. It seems like we're taking Yuto as well, even though Yuto isn't really like a gigglomaniac. I guess we're just taking everyone, whatever. Everyone's along for the ride, I guess. Akihabara. Amazing. What? That's where Steins Gate, takes place.
Oh.
I think? Well, I don't know. They always go to Akihabara anyway. I've been sure we go somewhere less densely populated. Shinjo looked at her. Someone helping her?
PC を使った情報収集という点においては、私以上の腕を持つハッカーだ。ふざけた人物だが、ある程度の事情も知っている。しばらくの間、かくまってくれるそうだ。
Is he Super Haka? You know? What's his name? Daru, right? That'd be funny if that's actually a reference to Steins Gate. Well, for some reason, Kunasato furrowed her brow and frowned.
それなりのマシンも融通してもらえることになっている。まあ、交換条件で何を言われるか分かったもんじゃないな。
Probably he wants to. Well, if it's Daru I know, he'll probably want Kunasato to put on some cosplay and take some pictures, probably. Anyway, Shinjo seemed confused. Evidently, he hadn't met this helper of hers.
とにかく、ここからどれだけ離れるかは問題じゃない。渋谷という街を出ることが先決だ。一旦そこに留まって様子を見る。
ということだ。有村さんはどうした？
あ、ノノの部屋で電話してます。
そうか。
Aramura has said she was calling her family before she left. But when she'd taken her phone into Nono's room, she hadn't looked like a girl who was saying goodbye to her family. It always felt like Aramura didn't want to talk about her family, and hadn't brought the subject up. So I had a vague sense that they weren't on good terms, but I didn't know anything else.
よし。有村さんの電話が終わったら行こう。車は玄関に寄せてある。マスコミはしばらく大丈夫だと思うが、乗るときは一応用心してくれ。近所の目もある。
Yep, we're totally going to escape unscathed and everything, and everybody will be safe, I guess. Yep, everything will be fine. I have a feeling something's gonna go wrong. You know, considering what we saw with Serika and everything, I don't think either she's been mind controlled to kill herself, but that wouldn't make any sense, because then she'll be useless, right? If anything, it's probably what Sakama did was finally take control of her, you know, directly, you know, assuming, you know, full control, or whatever, and then using her to kill us or something, I don't know. Suddenly, Uki spoke up. She must have been nervous because she clutched his hand even tighter. She was acting a little strange, but it was also cute to see how much she cared. I couldn't help but smile. Yes. I looked at Shinjo and saw that his expression was much the same as mine.
もちろん。最初からそのつもりだよ。いいかな、ゆうとくん。
Yuto nodded, and then he looked at me.
タクル兄ちゃん。お父さんはどこにいるの？大丈夫なの？
Well, you see, he's an evil scientist man who's been manipulating us this entire time. Pretending to be our father, but actually he's an evil, sadistic man. Comparable to another, you know, grown adult that often says "Yorokobe" all the time. But I don't know if he's... Well, I guess we'll see. I don't know if he's as cool, though. I don't know if he's as cool as a certain fake priest, but we'll see. Suddenly, I didn't know what to say. Yuto didn't know anything about what was going on. Nor did Uki, who was also looking at me and expecting an answer. I heard to see how worried they looked. All I could do was tell myself that I couldn't make it any better.
後で話すよ。
後っていつ？
秋葉原について落ち着いたら必ず。
I could tell Yuto was struggling with his feelings. Now it was his turn to grasp Uki's hand tightly.
わかった。絶対だよ。
あ、ほら、荷物取ってきな。
The two of them must have felt the exact same way as they went to their rooms, still holding each other's hands. Shinjo looked at me with a pained expression.
大丈夫です。
Of course, that was a lie. But Shinjo was nice enough not to say anything.
新庄さん、一つ確認したいことがある。
Kunasato stared at the hallway where Uki and Yuto had just left as she spoke. I could tell from the way she was acting that has something to do with Dad.
2時間半くらい前か。慰霊碑公園に宮代拓の名を語った狂言者が出ただろう。
ああ。
I had remembered the news I had just seen on my tablet. The TV news in Tripoli had been talking about how I appeared at the memorial park, but of course that was a lie. I was right here.
厳重注意くらいで明日には釈放か。
その予定だが。
そいつには悪いが別件でも何でも構わない。数日間交流しておいてくれないか。
Shinjo seemed to know what she was getting at. What do you mean? He looked out the hallway too.
佐久間の仕掛けだと。
She nodded.
タイミング的には狂言者なんていくら湧いてもおかしくないが、仮にも宮代拓になりきろうとした人間だ。何の工夫もなく名前だけを語ったのが気になってな。宮代との違いなんて遠目からでも一発でわかるはずだろ。
Well, Serika was saying that as well. For some reason, Sakuma wanted to, a random person to cause a commotion, to cause even more people to, want Takaru to show up and then, to kill him or something, or at least watch him die, I guess. Well, it's true that he wasn't a Chaos Child Syndrome patient, Shinjo said. That was confusing. When I seen the man on my tablet, his height and age have been mostly the same as mine. From a distance, it would have been hard to tell us apart. And what did Chaos Child Syndrome have to do with it, when that was just a type of PTSD? Okay, well, I think what they mean is that Chaos Child Syndrome is more than just PTSD. It's probably like a name for something else as well. We still don't know, though, what it means. Exactly. Kunosato tapped at her temples.
わかった。なんとかしてみよう。
It was also strange to see how easily Shinjo agreed to keep an innocent man locked up.
そろそろ出発しよう。有村さんにもそう伝えてくれ。
He pointed to the clock before I could ask any questions. It was 10 o'clock p.m.
はい。荷物はもうまとめてありますから。あれ
I opened the door to Nono's room to tell Aramuro it was time to go, but there was no one there. The lights were off, too. Was she done talking on the phone? Which would mean that she was having Kazuki to get the last of their things together, so she'd be in the dining room or maybe Uki's room. Come to think of it.
結局、Kazukiを最後まで付き合わせちゃったな。
Yeah, I was wondering about that too. Is she coming along? I guess she is. Kazuki wasn't involved in this case directly, but she was helping a lot just because she was a member of the newspaper club. Still, I couldn't ask her to come with us. Oh, I guess not. While we've been waiting with Shinjo, she tried to tell us that she'd come too, of course, using only a series of mumbles and gestures like always. But I refused, though I was grateful from the bottom of my heart. She seemed unsatisfied, but I finally got her to agree to it by promising to keep in touch, and to come straight to her if we needed help. I couldn't cause any more trouble for someone who wasn't part of the case.
当事者か。
I was suddenly conscious of the smells in Nono's room. Without bothering to turn on the lights, I shut the door behind me and walked over to her desk. I ran my hand along it, and only then I realized that it was the first time I'd been here since her death. Did we even have a proper funeral? I don't think we did. It's just weird, Dead sister. Not even have time to mourn. Oh well. Well, that's right. Nono wasn't supposed to be part of the case either.
なんでだ？嬢ちゃんは幸せにならなきゃいけねえ子だろうがよ。
I knew that. He was right. She wasn't supposed to die. There's no reason she deserved to die. She was simply killed because she learned Serika's secret. What was her real goal? I remember what Kunosato had asked me this afternoon. What was she really after? I almost screamed as I heard a loud noise from inside my bag. It was the sound of my phone vibrating. I quickly flipped over the bag and spilled its contents on the floor. I picked the phone up off the floor and read the words "unlisted caller" in the darkness. That was kind of creepy. I did not have a good feeling about this. It's probably just a scam call, just like, don't reject call and, just leave. Anyway, afraid, I touched the answer button.
誰だ
一つ言い忘れたことがあってな。
Okay.
お前
I moved the phone away from my ear in surprise. It was Serika. There's no mistaking it. I checked the time of the phone without even thinking about it. 10:03 p.m.
話を聞け。すぐに終わる。
なんでお前
I realized how hard my heart was beating, and I put the phone back up to my ear.
そんなことはどうでも。
I heard a sudden, abrupt noise. Has she dropped her phone, or has something happened? Oh well. I listened carefully so as not to miss a single sound. My hands were trembling violently. I hated it. And after I waited a moment,
宮代、聞いているか。
her voice was somehow weak and feeble. Something was off about the way she was acting.
聞いてるなんだよ
一つ言い忘れたことがあってな。
Was there? It was the same thing she just said.
おいどうしたんだなんか
お前の両親を殺したのは私だ。
Ah, yes. I mean, I was suspecting that, like something to do with the headache and explosion or whatever. So I guess it was Serika who killed his parents. And like, what about everyone else there? Outside the shelter. I don't think she killed literally everyone there, but I don't know. Well, I could hear the sound of the words she made, but I couldn't understand the meaning of the words themselves. But for some reason, my hands stopped shaking, and it suddenly seemed like everything around me had faded away into a white blur. What? The words were stuck in my throat. I couldn't speak.
6年前、渋谷地震の時、あの避難所で、お前の実の両親を殺したのは私なんだ。
So, I mean, it wasn't bandits, it was just a weird, imaginary, girl that came out of nowhere that just popped into existence and somehow murdered his parents. I don't know how that works, but alright. Did she just spawn in with a knife, in a video game? She just had a melee weapon, Once again, I could hear the words, but I didn't understand them. Well, I guess she had a D-sword, maybe. I don't know if she had, powers the moment she was, born, but well, anyway. 6 years ago, Shibuya earthquake, shelter, real parents.
Huh?
Eh? Nanny? My cheeks suddenly felt hot, and my blurry vision came back into focus in the dark room. Only then did I realize what she said. But what I felt wasn't rage.
なんで
Because you asked for it, Takuru? Probably, is what I'm thinking. It was an important event from my past, but one I'd totally forgotten. My parents hadn't died in the earthquake. Someone had murdered them at the shelter. It was what Nono had refused to tell me when I just woken up from my coma. That's why she lied to me. And that's why I'd run away from Alba Dorm and gone to live in Miyashita Park.
なんで
I repeated. Why would she do that? Why would she tell me that now? I mean, she's probably dying or at least being controlled by Sakuma right now. She's losing her, her sentience, maybe. All I could hear was her pain breathing. I kept waiting anyway. I couldn't hang up the call.
今、伝えなければいけなかった。言い忘れていたんだ。
だからなんでなんだよ
I yelled at Serika as she repeated herself. Oh. Just hung up.
お前
Just hung up on me. Suddenly the call ended. She'd hung up. I tried to call back and realized it was impossible. It was an unlisted number.
一体何なんだよ。
I whispered, knowing I wouldn't get an answer. Really, what the hell? What was the point of calling me like that? I mean, those were probably her last words, by the way. Well, no, there was a bigger question. Why?
お前は何のために生まれたんだ?
Yeah, why was she born? I mean, that's probably a question she asked herself, you know? Kind of, well, no, since I recently played through Nier Automata, it reminds me of Nier Automata, actually. You know? What's the meaning of life? Why was I born? Just to save this one human? But that day, I happened to meet my parents at the shelter, and then I had a terrible headache. That was probably when Serika was born. And then my parents were murdered at the shelter, which would mean that she murdered them right after I created her. My thoughts were a mess, and it was hard to think, but something told me I had to figure this out. Serika said her goal was to keep me alive, but would killing my parents help me with that? Mom and Dad were trying to get me out of the shelter. Killing them would make me less likely to survive, not more. Just like Kunasato said, it didn't make any sense. That's right. What Serika was saying didn't make sense. The very first thing she'd done after being born didn't make any sense. Which meant...
あいつの目的は僕を生かし続けることじゃない?
Suddenly, I found myself looking at the picture on my phone. It was a photo of me and my family from Alba Dorm. It was the same as what had happened with Nono. Sure, she figured out who Serika was, but if Serika's goal was keeping me alive, would that mean killing Nono? Nono will always try her best to protect me. She even risked her life to do so, which would mean that for Serika it would be better to keep her alive. She could have just done what they told Vito and used mind control to alter her memories about her real identity. So why didn't she? Why did she have to kill Nono? By the way, the teddy bear still says, no, no. It's hard to see though because it's all dark, but I just remember that. No, no, when the teddy bear. Anyway. Did she have some other goal? Was that why she had to take Nono's life? If that was the case, then I could feel a certain desire welling up within me, one I hadn't felt in a long, long time. I would find out why. And I would find out if my ridiculous idea was true. And for that to happen, I have to go there. Oh, okay. No matter how things ended up. Are we going to confront Takuma? After all? I checked the time on my phone again. Seems like a bad idea. We'll probably just get mind controlled and kill ourselves, and thus ending the new generation bandits' killings and everything. All part of his plan. At least the mastermind behind this whole case. There were 18 minutes left until the moment when everything began. I laughed a little and ran my hand along Nono's desk again. Was I betraying Nono again? If she was still alive, would she have slapped me across the face if she found out about it? You lied too in the end. You lied to protect me. So I'm going to do the same. Because this is about you, and you mean everything to me. This is about the reason why you died. Of course, thinking about what I was about to do terrified me, but I wasn't gonna change my mind no matter what. Ow. Surprisingly, it was Aramura, not Nono, who slapped me. I mean, Nono's not here, unless like a Nono's ghost slapped you or something. She hit me so hard that the impact traveled all the way to my ears and made them ring. I put my hand to my cheek where she struck me, and it felt a little hot. I laughed because it hadn't hurt as hard as when Nono did it. Nono was used to slapping people's cheeks after all. Or maybe she was just really strong at slapping people. But Aramura seemed to think I was laughing because I wasn't worried at all. Her shoulders shook more violently with rage.
危険すぎます。向こうが何を企んでるのかわからないんですよ。
話を聞きに行くだけだ。多分大丈夫だと思う。
Yeah, it's fine. Just go to
そ
where...
んな嘘つかないでください。私に嘘が通じないのは分かってるでしょ。
Aramura was out of breath and seriously angry. She was worried about me.
タクルさん。
Uki and Yuto were standing next to her, looking worried. I leaned down so I was at their height.
安心してくれ。話を聞きに行くだけっていうのは本当だから。
でもその先は嘘だろう。お前は多分殺される。
久野里さん。
Of course I knew that. There was a good chance I'd be killed. He just walked right into the trap, I guess. And Dad would be the one who killed me. But I wish he wouldn't say it in front of Uki and Yuto.
お前は喧嘩すらしたことがない。違うか？
はい。でも。
I had to go. My head knew it was stupid and my heart was filled with terror. But there was something even deeper that drove me forward. Me, the main protagonist.
そんなこと絶対に望んでない。
I have to find the truth.
え？
Though.
ウキから手紙のこと聞いたんです。
そっか。
クルス先輩の気持ち踏みにじるんですか？
そうだな。あいつきっと怒ると思うけど。
And she probably slapped me hard across the face like Aramura just did.
でも僕は行くよ。
Aramura looked like she was about to raise her hand again, but then she stopped, clenched into a fist and lowered it. Her eyes were a little red as she glared at me.
なんでそんな。
ごめん。
Her voice was so soft I could barely hear it. I lowered my head, unable to even look at her.
ウキとユウトのこと頼むな。
知りません。先輩は長男でしょ。ちゃんと帰ってきて自分でお兄ちゃんをやってください。
You're terrible, she whispered as she left the room. Sighted. Someone suddenly waved something in front of my face and I leapt back. Kasuge had come next to me and I wasn't sure when. She always surprised me like this.
お前まだいたのか。
Still here. I can't leave you all here, her face seemed to say. Here's a lollipop. Oh, 2 lollipops. 3 lollipops. Amazing. She's holding pieces of candy on sticks. Lollipops? How many of these does she have? I couldn't refuse her, so I took them and put them in my pocket. They'll save me somehow. They're the true plot devices, you know? As it turns out, lollipops are what counters the mind control or something, I don't know. I've probably never eaten them, though. Or I'll probably never eat them, because I'll die. Probably.
ウキたちのことを見送ってやってくれ。そうしたら気をつけて帰れよ。
I didn't think she'd do it, but I didn't want her going with the two of them. I feel terrible for her family if that happened. She nodded like she always did. I tried to make sure that was a yes, but before I could, she ran out of the room after Aramura. Kunasato was here too, so it'll be okay, right? She'll make it home, right?
タクル兄ちゃん。
Yuto spoke up, afraid, as he watched me as he saw me watch her go, rather. To be honest, I wasn't sure what to say. Anything I said felt like it would just make him more nervous. I tried to choose my words carefully, but in the end, this was all I could come up with.
行ってくれ。後で必ずユウトたちと合流するから。
I could tell from his face that he realized it was one of the white lies that adults often tell children, but he didn't say anything. He just looked at me with eyes that were redder than Aramura's.
いってらっしゃい。待ってますから。
We're waiting for your corpse.
ずっと待ってますから。
あ、
僕も待ってる。ずっと。
あ。
Maybe Uki's hand on his gave him strength because he finally forced himself to say one last thing. I'm sorry, Yuto. Thanks, Uki.
じゃあ行ってくれ。
I checked the time. There wasn't much time left, and if I stay here any longer, my resolve would begin to waver. I nodded one last time to the two of them, then turned around. It was decided that Shinjo would drive me to the Hikari-o. I wanted him to take the others to Akihabara as soon as possible, but I didn't see how I'd get through the area around Shibuya Station on my own.
Miyashiro.
Well, it's interesting that Shinjo is... I mean, everyone else is just accepting this fact, you know, not stopping him. You could just, like, I don't know, punch him in the gut. You know, Mio could do this, could punch him in the gut and just, like, kidnap him and just force him to go to Akihabara. You know, you don't have to listen to this guy. He's an idiot. Takaru guy's an idiot. Well, as I left to get in the car, Kunasato called to me from behind.
スマホは持っているな。
I put my hand inside my pocket to check. Of course, it was there.
持ってますけど。
何でもいい。もし委員会の情報を手に入れたら、すぐに連絡しろ。
At least you'll be useful, but by the end. If you end up killing yourself from your mind control thing, at least let me on some juicy information before you die, Takaru. I chuckled. That was exactly what I expected her to say. I didn't know if I'd find anything, but I promised that I would.
尾上からは、お前を渋谷から脱出させるよう言われている。それを承諾したのは、能力者を渋谷から出せば委員会に近づけるというあいつの言質があったからだ。
はい。
かといって、お前自身がそれに逆らう決断をするのなら、それを止める義理はない。別に、お前にこだわる必要はないんだからな。山添や有村さえいれば、それでいい。
Well, I guess Mio doesn't care, but everyone else could stop him? I guess not. Oh well.
ええ、そうですね。
At least Shinjo might have some sympathy, but I guess not. Well, she was correct. If getting a psychic out of Shibuya would cause something to happen, Uki Naramura would do just as well as I would.
だから、お前のことは待たないぞ。
Her words seemed to be testing my resolve one last time. So I looked her dead in the eye and answered.
構いません。分かってますから。
But for a while after that, she said nothing. She seemed to be for once at a loss for words. I frowned. Did she not like that answer?
何か。
お前のさっきの話だがな。
She finally opened her mouth hesitantly. She was probably talking about the call I'd gotten from Serika. But she told me that she was the one who killed my parents.
それが事実だとするなら。
何ですか？何か思い当たることでも？
いや。
Kunasato probably found Serika's words strange, just like I did. They didn't make sense, and Kunasato probably had a theory of her own, and one she was reluctant to share. But in the end, she put her hand on my shoulder without saying a word. We're just gonna accept this, I guess. I still feel like it's dumb to just go to where the mastermind is saying we need to go and then let ourselves get killed, but alright. Everyone's just like, good luck, buddy. Huh? Until now, all she ever done was grab me or choke me, so I was surprised. I never expected this.
どのみち、お前が確かめるべきことだ。せいぜい悔いのないようにするんだな。
And the words she said were different than usual, too. Kunasato was saying something nice to me, a psychic? Or in general? In general, not even being a psychic. She just rude to everyone, though. It's crazy.
いえ、その。
I was so surprised that I said something I shouldn't have.
どうせなら、ケイさんの締めの一言でお願いします。リスナーだったんです。
Oh my god.
ふざけるな。情報操作の放送以外で、あんな八方美人な人間を演じるのはごめんだ。とっとと行け。
She pushed me away with the hand she placed on my shoulder. I suddenly felt embarrassed. Why had I said that? I was so embarrassed that I tried to hurry into the car. Kunosato looked at me and said,
どうしても聞きたいなら次の放送まで待つんだな。
I guess the whole like, you know, the whole anime thing is like, you know, if you wanna like if you wanna like see me again, just live, idiot. You know, just live. Don't die, just live, you know. But I don't know how it's gonna turn out. Are we just gonna die? It seems like we're just gonna die, but maybe not. I don't know. I turned around and I looked at her face one more time. Her features were elegant, and her beautiful almond-shaped eyes were always frozen cold. They never betrayed what she was really thinking. I don't know why we're describing her right like this right now, but her personality was as cool as ice, befitting a dedicated scientist who was always willing to do whatever it took to achieve her goal, regardless of the cost. But sometimes I caught a glimpse of some burning passion inside her. She really was a mysterious girl, as if, you know, that's her entire trait, you know, she's like a mystery girl. At least in the beginning. That's, well, I don't know. It's not like exactly super mysterious, but still a bit of mystery left to her, I guess. We don't really know much about her backstory and why she wants revenge of the committee and everything, but I guess maybe we'll learn that later. Alright, so there was one last thing I had to ask her, since this might really be my last chance.
なんだ、人の顔をじっと見て。
久野里さんは何の能力を持ってるんですか？
なんだと。
The distance between us had started to shrink, but it grew back with that one question. If I felt all the air around me freeze, though her power is like ice, I guess now. I panicked.
だって見たんですよ。久野里さんの部屋で。
The D sword.
何をだ。
ディソードです。あれは久野里さんのものでしょう。
は？
She's laughing. Crazy. Just as I thought things between us would end with another series of cold insults from her, Kunosato started to laugh. She kept laughing in a low voice. I stood there with my mouth hanging open. All I could do was stand there and watch. I didn't know Kunosato could laugh like that.
お前、本当に真のギガロマニアックスなのか？本物と偽物の区別もつかないとはな。
Oh, it was just like a fake, actual, literal cosplay sword.
偽物？
あれはただのレプリカだ。研究用のな。6年前の資料を取り寄せて、アメリカの私の研究室が作った。ばらつきがあるにしろ、ディラックの海とのパイプが、なぜ剣という形を取るのか。その解明をしようとしたが、無駄だった。で、廃棄されたガラクタを押し付けられたわけだ。
Okay.
あんなもの。
It was a red herring.
邪魔になって仕方ないが、まあ、物干し代わりに使っている。
I guess. It's a mundane object. Well, then she laughed again. After she was done laughing, she pushed me in the car. And before she closed the door...
ああ、そうだ。お前の同級生、伊藤だったか。あいつはなんとか助かりそうだぞ。
Oh, well, that's good news, I guess.
忘れてるようだが、それと引き換えに、お前は私の実験台になると誓った。その約束、戻ってきて、ちゃんと果たせよ。
Again, this seems like a horrible idea, though. Takaru is not gonna live. He's just gonna go in and get mind controlled and then die. I don't know. Well, then she closed the door. I nodded from behind the window, mouthed the words, "Thank you for everything." I mean, I guess if, like, you know, if everything goes according to plan, or we, like, that's the thing. If we do we even have a plan? You know, we're just gonna like walk in and say hi. Well, time to die. You know, I would be, you know, not complaining as much if we even had like a plan, any kind of plan, you know. But nope, we're just walking in there. Well, everyone really was trying to make me feel better before I die. Everyone really did want to see me again. But now I was going alone down a path that meant that might never happen. Well, vroom vroom. Good thing Shinjo's there to drive us, I guess.
静かだな。